It's a very silly story, as the title tells you. It's really silly. And it's a story of Bondapalli. Alright? Now, there once was a small little kingdom, very small, ruled by, what do kingdoms have? A king and a queen. And they also had a little prince. They didn't have a princess. We'll have a princess story later. They had a king and a queen and a small little prince. Now, the king and the queen were very, very, very fond of eating. Morning, first thing they would wake up, rush to the breakfast table, sit down, gulp, 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 gulp. I wonder what's for lunch, the queen would say. Then they would sit down for lunch, gulp, 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 finish lunch and wait for tea. I think today there must be those nice muffins for tea. And then when they're just done with their tea, cook, chef, what's the menu for dinner? So the cook was so tired and vexed with all the work in the kitchen. However, he was happy doing it because the king and the queen loved his food and they enjoyed his food. But the little prince, he fussed so much about his food. Are there any children here who fuss about their food? Your mamas are here. Yeah? So, when they would bring nice kheer for the little prince, they would say, Prince, we made lovely yummy kheer for you. Eat it. He would sit like that. Just taste a little. No. It's very nice. It's very yummy. Then the queen would eat, the king would eat, everybody would eat the kheer and they say, come, 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 taste just a little. No. And he would sit there, all upset, all angry, and he just wouldn't touch it. Okay. Next day, they tried a different dish. Again, they brought it. Oh, this is savory, this is very special. Come, 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 we're all tasting. You don't like sweets, no? So we got namkeens for you. Come, come, come. He would run away. And they would go chasing him, try to feed him. But they just wouldn't be able to get anything down his throat. Now, the queen mother was so fed up. I'm sure the mothers would understand her plight. She did not even have noodles. She did not even have cornflakes to resort to. So she was at her wit's end. What shall I do with this little son of mine? So finally she marched into the royal kitchen. She stomped her foot. She wiggled her fingers at the chef, at her royal cook, and she said, better make something that the prince will eat, or else I'll chop off your head. The cook said, okay, okay. And the queen marched off, determined and assured that tomorrow her son is going to eat something very special, whatever it is, she didn't bother. And now it was the cook's headache. All night he sat worrying about his head, and he chopped, and he diced, and he sliced, and he baked, and he boiled, and he stirred, and he furred, and he tried, and he cried. I will die tomorrow. And thinking that he'll die, he was so drained out with all the anxiety of trying to cook something and all the anxiety of trying so many dishes, he fell asleep there with some batter in his hand, right in the kitchen. And next morning, as the sun peeped out, beautifully bringing its warm rays into the kingdom, suddenly the cock crowed. Ooh! The dog got up. Hearing the cock-a-doodle so suddenly, the dog got up, howling. And as it got up, it lost its balance, fell off the wall and jumped on the cat. And the cat went, Caw! And the cat jumped out from there and fell on the cook. And the cook, he was fast asleep with some batter in his hand. And just as the cat fell on him, the batter in his hand fell plunk into hot oil. And the batter sizzled and it swelled up into a ball. Now the cook watched the ball. He watched it and he let it cook for a while, and then he took it out and he tasted it. Said, wow, it's crispy on the outside and it's soft on the inside. I'll make some more of these golden balls and I'll give it to the prince in the morning. So the next morning, the cook made a heap full of golden balls in a tray and he sent it and stood behind holding his head tight, watching the king and the queen at the breakfast table as they sat their stern, and the prince sat there with his long face, not wanting to eat anything, and a tray full of these golden balls was taken to him. Now the prince looked at it very suspiciously. I don't want. No, just try a little, just try a little. They took it closer to him. So he said, okay, I'll smell it. Okay, it smells nice, he said. And he took a little and he nibbled it. And then he gobbled it. And gobbled one more, and one more, and one more. This is wonderful, he said. So his father said, oh, you mean wonderful, right? No, wonderful. These are called bondas. So his mother said, okay, these are bondas. So the cook said, yes, these are bondas. Go make some more of these. Yes. So the cook was so happy that his head was saved. He went and he rushed and made more and more of bondas. And the prince, the queen was so happy. Morning, noon and night. What did he eat? Bondas, only bondas, correct. Only bondas, some more bondas. What will you have for breakfast? Bondas. Okay. What will you have for dinner? Bondas. Okay. And so the prince ate bondas morning, noon and night. Everyone in the town ate bondas morning, noon and night. And everywhere on the streets they were selling bondas morning, noon and night. And people ate bondas, danced and slept and rested. And everyone in the kingdom became as round as bondas. And so round were the people that they couldn't fit in through their doorway. When they wanted to go home and they tried to enter their house, they had to squeeze themselves in because they had become big and fat and round like bondas. So what did they do? They started making round doors for their houses. Then they made round beds to sleep in. Then they made round chairs to sit in. And everything became like bondas in their town. And the kingdom came to be called Bondapalli. And everybody in Bondapalli was happy and laughing and round like bondas. Now the neighboring king, he came to know about this. He said, these people of Bondapalli, they're all so happy all the time. I must do something. What shall I do? He thought and he said, yeah, I will go and I will conquer Bondapalli. I will take over Bondapalli. And he decided, and the king sent the lean, mean, sad soldiers of his lean, mean army with their lean, mean machines to go and attack Bondapalli. And so the soldiers entirely ready. All of them, can you imagine? The full lot of lean, mean, sad soldiers with all their machines ready. Off they went to attack. Which place? Bondapalli. And they started off with all their, they have their own fanfare. Now the prince of Bondapalli, he heard about it and he said, what? People are coming to attack us? Call my soldiers. And his soldiers, round as bondas, became they couldn't run also. They were so nice and fat. They had to huff and puff and reach the prince. The prince looked at his soldiers and he said, these are my soldiers. How are they going to fight? Then he said, anyway, minister, come. I will give you the orders. I will tell you what to do. First, let me go up the fort and from there I will see the enemies coming. So he went up to the fort and the minister was waiting behind him. There he looked and he could see the enemy soldiers, lean, mean soldiers with their lean, mean, sad faces and their lean, mean machines coming. How are they coming? And the prince said, I have to do something about this. What shall I do? My soldiers are anyway so fat and they huff and they puff like this. Just then, the cook came from behind. Prince, your bondas. Oh, my He started eating and he went tumbling down, 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 down. And because he was so round, he went bouncing, boing, 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 boing. Now the minister saw this and he said, oh, that is the command. Now I have to tell my soldiers to bounce. He said, soldiers, everybody, get set, ready, bounce. Now all the soldiers, yes, 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 they were anyway nice and fat. They rolled in their hands, rolled in their legs, curled up and became nice and round, and all of them started bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. So many Bondapalli soldiers bouncing like that. Imagine the lean, mean soldiers of the lean, mean army who were waiting there with their lean, mean machines. They looked up. And what did they see? Big balls coming rolling from the sky. Some of them thought these are cannonballs. Others thought, my God, some monsters, and all of them started shaking in their knees. What do we do? What do we do? And some of them thought, let's run away from here. Some of them thought, I'll just stay stand fixed and I'll try to save myself. But all the soldiers started landing there. Boing! One Bondapalli soldier. Boing! Another Bondapalli soldier. As the soldier was landing there, poof! There were lean, mean soldiers dying. Puff! There were lean, mean soldiers dying. And there were horses which were neighing there. And just as the boing, one soldier came, pachak! The horses went falling down. Now the Bondapalli soldiers, they were only too happy. Come on, come on. They made some more balls, boinked, boinked, bounced, bounced, bounced in everywhere. And lean, mean soldiers, one by one, started to fall, horses started to fall, but they had their machines. They thought, okay, we can defend with our machines. Then came the bigger Bondapalli soldiers. Boing! They landed on the machine and crash, machines also gone. Soldiers were looking at their machines. What do we do? Oh my God, these happy, fat, huffing, puffing Bondapalli soldiers are nicely destroying our whole army. And they were wondering what to do. Just then the prince came there. Bondapalli prince. He adjusted his crown and he said, stop. Stop everybody. I am hungry. Get some bondas. And immediately the cook came with lots of bondas in the middle of the battlefield. And the prince sat there and started eating his bondas. And he told all his people, come on, let's enjoy our bondas. Then the lean, mean soldiers were watching with saliva drooling down. They were watching these bondas. Come on, join us, the prince told. Let's all be happy together. So the lean, mean soldiers were very happy. And everyone ate and ate and ate and said, long live Bondapalli. Long live the bondas. What did they say? Long live Bondapalli. Long live the bondas. And that is the silly story of Bondapalli. Did you all enjoy that? Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.